What is up, guys? Skilly Kev here, and today we are going to be doing a modern house again. This is going to be a slightly variation of this one. Oh damn, it looks nice. Oh damn, it looks nice. What's that as a castle in the background? You can find all those builds in the description, or if they're not there, make sure to go and check out the playlist, because I do each step by step. And that's going to be the last one, but now we're going to be doing this one. So I'm going to show you the outline first and give you a quick overlook of what we're going to be doing. This is another modern house, really nice and simple. Basically, you want to do two squares. I funked it up a little bit and took away these blocks here and just sort of cut it in ever so slightly, which I'm probably not going to do for this tutorial because it might be a little bit too complicated for y'all. So I'm literally just going to make a massive fucking square this side, a smaller variation here, which I'll show you what we're going to do with that later on, and then obviously a square this side as well to connect it up. Nice and simple, nothing too hard, but this is a build idea and a tutorial for this, guys. So obviously there's a lot of things. What I like to do in the first episode is build the shell. Second episode I like to do the main structure, which will be the roofing and maybe sort of a little bit of the detail, just a small amount, and then the finalize, which will be part 3, which is 9 times out of 10, which will be the detailing, like the small sort of intricate things outside of the house and various other different things you saw on the thumbnail. So let's crack on. So for a start, I just did sort of I literally marked out where the door was going to be, and I marked off the sections where the two squares were. Now personally what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to fill this small section in for the time being, just because if I don't, then I personally am going to get very confused on what I'm going to be doing. So I'm just going to fill all this in like so. You can follow along with me as well. It's entirely up to you. You can watch this, or you can skip to the end of sort of part 3 and actually have a look at the finalized project, which will be at the end, which will be sort of something like this, and it'll give you just sort of like a little build idea and let you know what you can be doing. So right, what I'm going to be doing is building this for 2 layers. Now I'm not too sure how high I actually want this. Remember guys, this bit can or can't be filled in, it's entirely up to you. I am actually going to change all this grass eventually in time in part 2 to a different kind of texture, so don't worry too much about that. So let's go on with the main structure for a start. I'm going to add an extra 3 onto this one, so it'll be 4 blocks in total to each of the struts, and you can do that all the way along. And the same on this one as well. They're all basically all the same colour, needs to come up to the same side. So for instance, if I've got all the oak wood round somewhere, all the oak wood needs to come up an additional 3, so it'll be 4 in total. Same with all these struts on this side as well. But thing is, on part 2 we're going to actually sort this out properly, and well, how the hell am I meant to get in that? House is meant to be a functional house. Don't worry, all will be alright. Obviously leave that middle one there. I mean, you can do it to have sort of a more of a funky thing, or if you're making this slightly larger, you could have sort of 2 houses in one, but I don't have anyone to share it with, so there's no point in doing that at all. So we're gonna make some massive freaking house. 1 2 3, 1 2 3, and 1 2 3. There's a little bit more to go on this bit, just with the struts itself. Holy shit, there we go. So 1 2 3, 1 2 3, there we go. And we are almost there. So as you can see, all the struts are piled up nice and high. As you can see, that level is slightly smaller than this level, no idea why, and that's just on that side. That was weird. And the same on this one as well. Okay, that is kind of freaky, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so there we go. That is even now. Thank God. That was a little bit confusing. And now what you're going to be doing is switch it into your sort of primary or secondary colour. That is our primary colour. Secondary colour, which is going to be this bad boy here. And what we're going to be doing is just filling these gaps in. Now, do not worry too much about, you know, obviously the windows and too much and everything else. That will come into part 2, maybe even definitely part 3 on this bit. It might just seem 2 sticks at the moment, or 2 cubes, but if you've seen the thumbnail, it was all chiseled out. As I said prior to this and prior to other videos when we're doing sort of our house builds, they do look kind of shitty at the beginning, but obviously it's like a potterer with his clay. The clay looks like a giant lump of turd, and then when he's finished with it, holy shit, it looks amazing. So it's pretty much the exact same purpose as sort of what we're doing right now. Not that we're modelling with poo, I'm just saying that you know, we're just going to get shit done. So as well, I'm going to leave this back entrance the exact same as the front entrance as well, which is going to have a little gap for a 1 door, because obviously it's a 1 gap, so we're going to close it off like so, and then fill the rest of it continuously like so. Also as well, guys, to remain, just a little heads up as well, if you've seen the thumbnail, that's exactly what we're going to be building. If you're unsure as well and you want to change anything in the actual build, like the blocks, it's entirely up to you. Again, it's personal preference. It's sort of a tutorial on how I would like to build my second modern house. Not in real life, but I'm just saying it's just perspective of the build. But obviously you can tweak it and change it however you like. It's just sort of a tutorial on this particular house or a build idea. It's entirely up to you how you want to take it. So as you can see, we have nearly finished, like so. Something like that. And this is going to be the first layer. Now, don't hesitate just yet. There's going to be another layer and everything else. So, for instance, we need to fill up this side here, like we did on this side over here. Just going to fill up this, like so, connect that. And there we go. So, right. Two different things to remember here. Obviously we've got a slope coming in, so obviously we're going to have some stairs here. We're going to sort all that out. That'll be in detailing, don't worry too much about that. I'm going to sort that out. Now I need to finalise or think where the hell is the actual middle of this beast, which is here. I'm going to suggest. I'm pretty sure it's here. It looks pretty good to me. Obviously, if you can't lay glass in this in survival, if you're building a survival, hats off to you. A lot of patience, or any of these ones in survival, hats off to you. If you're in creative, you can do things like I've just done as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the second layer. So what I'm going to be doing is grabbing some torches just to start off with, because I don't know why, I just plonk some torches around just to give it a little bit of light when you come back through. This doesn't, whoa, that is well off, isn't it? Wow. Does it just look like that on this side? 4 on this side, 2, 3, 4, 4 on that side. Wow, that looks really small in comparison with that. You not think? How many's here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. How does that work? Oh, I see, because it's in slightly more. That is very, very trippy. Yeah, I'm going to put some torches down. Sorry about that. That was weird. Weird seeing that for the fun time. I did not want to put them that high. Whoopsie daisy. You want to come one below the actual level that you've just done, obviously, because you're actually going to be building on that level. Apologies. Keep thinking we're doing roofing, but that is nowhere near completion yet. So obviously in each of the corners is entirely up to you how you want to do this. I just want a little bit of light for the time being, because when I come back down into work into this, same thing on survival, we're going to need that, otherwise shit is going to spawn. So now from here it's pretty damn simple. You just want to sort of colour, well, fill the whole top bit like I am doing now. Any fashion, you can change the wood or change the block, is entirely up to you. Depends what you're building it with. For me, it's just going to be the standard oak slabs again. And yeah, we're going to finish that off. So once I've done that, I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. So after you've done all the roofing, it should something it should look something like this. There we go. I don't know why I have to sound like that to get it out, but there we go. That's what it should look like. And then what you want to do is continuation from the struts as well. So basically you're building the same level up again, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Same again on all these struts. Do not worry too much about windows and everything else. All will be corrected in part 2 and part 3. So just carry on doing struts. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3. So basically you're building the exact same thing on another level. Now, you're probably thinking, well, this house doesn't look anything like the thumbnail. Like, what? How am I meant to do anything with this? Well, have no fear, don't worry too much, purely because the aspect of the roofing is probably the main thing. Most of these builds as well, as you can see, the roofing is very, very detailed, and that's what sets it off, in my opinion. The build actually itself, it doesn't really matter. I could build probably a circle with, I don't know, some fucking bridges on it, but if the roofing's not good, it's not going to look good. That's personal preference again, but personally I think the roof actually does set it off. Hence the thumbnail. I mean, the thumbnail looks pretty damn cool. I'm happy with the end process of the project, because technically if you think about it, I've already seen it. Even though I'm making it now, I've visualized what it is. So that's as weird as that sounds. So once you've done that, pretty much the exact same process again, you want to fill up these little bad boys in here. Again, 3 high, don't go any more than that. You could possibly go 1 more on this actually, which will conceal it, so it's going to be 1 more just running along the top here. And I'm going to show you why that block is there in a minute, because obviously the roof is going to be somewhat, I suppose you could call it, attached to that 4th block, which is covering or concealing everything together. Now you can actually change the colour of that block, it's entirely up to you. A lot of people will have a darker roof, which I might actually do just to set it off. So I'm going to deduct this layer here. Just to give you an idea though guys, that's what it was. Or was it? And then I'm going to come over here and probably steal colour over here. Now I'm not sure if these are blocks or slabs. Is that a block? There we go. That'd have been a little bit confusing, wouldn't it? So just obviously run along your dark colour. I mean, as well you can use the same colour for everything else that you're using, or you could switch it up with sort of this grainy wood. Primarily you want to try and find something that has the same block but has a slab version of it. I mean, like for instance the condo that's over there, you can check that out in the playlist as well. That has a sort of a stone slab effect for roofing, even though it's even made out of wood, but I think it just sort of kicks it off and it's really quite nice. So again, entirely up to you. Now you don't actually build doors on these top bits because honestly it's the top half of it and everything else. Windows will be input and in place. As I say, there's no need for that at the moment because obviously that's in part 2 and we haven't even made it through part 1 just yet. So I do apologise for the clicking as well. I'm using a condenser mic, so apologies for that, but with the music over the top which is playing now should actually override any clicking. So if any damp spots or soft spots come up, I do apologise. So as we're nearly there, we can almost finish up here, and after that we're going to start doing the roofing in part 2. So this is near enough the end of part 1. There's a few extra things that you want to be doing as well just on this. Obviously remember that you've got to sort of do this middle bit as well. Don't forget that bit guys. Obviously carry on with the build as well. I was going to leave it, but then I thought no, because at the end of it I'm going to have to do it. The reason why I say that as well, because this actually has a separate roof. Sounds really weird, but it actually does have a separate roof entirely to this whole entire build, so please do remember that. Now the thing is, the reason why I didn't come across it with this darker wood along here is because you want to actually come along with your oak wood up to the top, and this is just this section off the two sort of areas, that the difference between the two sides and the main part of your actual house. And the main part is obviously going to be the middle part, and the two sections are going to be the little bits that I am working on right now. So obviously you can switch, and obviously as well guys, I don't want to make it look cosmetically nice from the front, I want to do it at the back as well, because as you can see, if we come all the way onto this one and come all the way over here, you obviously got windows this side. I didn't put any this side because there's a hallway, and obviously windows this side. So I'm not just giving you the perspective for the front as well, I am doing the whole entire house. Please do remember that. Last thing for this video as well, you got to line up where this is going. So I believe it was 1 2 3 4. Yeah, 2 3 4. Obviously this is going to be the same as the one downstairs as well. For instance, if we come down here, as you can see, it's there. I'm thinking, how the hell do we get up there as well? Don't worry, that's all in part 2, and the roofing. So that is pretty much part 1, the shell guys. Hopefully you've done all that correctly with your own blocks and everything, your own take. But if you did enjoy, make sure to hit me up with that like and that comment. Part 2 will be coming out very shortly and very soon. But until next time guys, Kelly Kev here, and Kelly Kev out.